And what's going up, guys? It's your hostess with the mostest, Anomalycyra, coming back at it with another mind theory for your mind. Back from the dead. I do not apologize. I needed that. Do you ever feel like you came back from the dead? No one ever talks about it. But like, I have this dream realm world where I think I'm going to another realm. Look, hear me out. So I'm like randomly reading into H.P. Lovecraft, and I'm just fascinated with his ideas of, dimensions and realms, of course. But I happen to see some of the creatures that he described in the dream realm, and I'm telling you, like, I can't draw enough for these two. For me to have like drawn them out myself, but I know what they look like because like in some of the dreams that I've had, I've seen them like right before I'm pulled out of the dream or whatever. So now I'm thinking, am I literally going somewhere? Like when I talk to other people about their dreams, and let's remember there are different types of dream. Your dream can be like, you have a dream of being president one day, or you go to sleep and have a dream. We humans love this word, so we use it for a lot of things. Nothing wrong with that. But okay, so here's the sweetheart that I am. I feel bad for saying I wasn't going to apologize for how long I've been gone. But like, I don't want to share my personal life or like the things I've been going through, but let's just say the pandy was hard on everybody. I'm handling things well. I think I'm, blessed better than most. Me and my family, friends, and everyone hasn't even had anything to do with it. But I just feel so much for like other people, which I guess is kind of strange in general. We're starting this off on a couple of random notes, but that's okay. We're going to get back to the core of it, which I wanted to talk about dreams, and then I want to talk about pop culture. So here's pop culture that I'm interested in. I don't like most of it, or I'm so bored of it and seeing the same stories every 10 years that I don't even have an opinion on it anymore. But I'm happy for people that are just finding it and they think that it's a new or surprising thing. But one thing I do want to bring up is that we are definitely a supporting Joe Rogan podcast here. He's one of us, so the man can do no wrong. And really, there's so much worse people that they just let do whatever the fuck they want that I really couldn't care about what their opinion is. Keep listening, think free, think for yourself. And I think anyone who's promoting that you think for yourself should be the first person to be getting the praise. And he's got that fuck you money, so fuck you if you don't like it. Which is a great place to be. Let's all get to that area. Next, Clementine Lives. I hate it. I want them to stay away from all of the things that I love because they're going to woke-tize it. And I do not want to see that because it's weird, it's forced, and you can just tell they don't care. They actually don't care. And it's just another thing to sell to people. And I swear, if people like toenails, they would sell us toenails. And at some point, it's just like, I want products that are quality. I don't care if it's Louis Vuitton or, it's Gucci. When I think of those things, let's just say this, when I think of Gucci, I think of the 4 brothers who killed each other over this fucking name. It's just blood money. And at some point, I always believe that where you get your money from matters. And maybe I can come from a privileged position, but I've been in both positions. So I've been in the place where I grew up and I had money, and then I've also been in the position where I knew we didn't have money at that time. So I know about both life existences. Yes, I did live in one more than the other, but I have the consciousness of understanding both. And I'm not gonna blame on being like a Pisces because like we understand both ways of the world. I have to see things double-sided. Or I've been really identifying lately with this well, there's this creator who he has ADHD, and he talks about ADHD paralysis. So he can be stuck within a thought for like a few weeks, a few months, and then pop right out of it. And it's like that whole time just wasn't delegated. Like none of those projects happened, but you went on to like a robot process. You know, you still went to work or you did your daily routines or so on and so forth, but there was just a part of you that was just checked out in this other place. I feel like I don't have ADHD, but I feel like I am interdimensional sometimes. So I'm in all these realms and thought processes, and then I try to center myself back to one ideal, and it takes for fucking ever. It's like I have to go into these galaxies, find myself, bring myself back down, and then do it all over again. So like I gotta go to Venus and grab myself, I gotta go to Mars and grab myself, I'm hitting Pluto today. Oh yeah, speaking of that, so I thought today would be kind of fun to also do the, 222 thing. Two. No, wait. 222. Oh my god. It's just fun. I don't know if like anyone thinks a bunch of things are supposed to happen. I think you should always expect the best from your life and the world and existence, and that's a really great way to be. I love that. Sometimes things are, they get a little sad, but I try to make sure that I don't make that my main focus when I'm like going through stuff or whatever. There's a buzz in the phone I can't get rid of. I swear, I turned off everything in the house, everything in the ship, and I can still hear it. But I'm hoping I'm talking over it so much that it just doesn't bother you that much. But really, it's like with beginning creators, I just want to let you know, it's not a fan. I turned off all the fans. I don't know what the motor sound is. We're going to let it go, move on. But just, I love you. I appreciate you. And you're here at the beginning, so you get to see the gradual uptick, which it totally is. And I'm really excited about that. But it's so weird because then I've been really up in other areas, like when I used to do stylist work and I worked with models and I knew celebrities. And you have to jump out of each life and jump down and then work your way up again, which is the weirdest feeling because you feel like, well, no, I already made it. I'm already up here, so I can just go across. No, you have to go back to each one is a mountain. Now, I heard I heard someone else trying to say this, or not someone else, it was, this guru, one of many. I don't want to trash gurus, but it's just like, they all have started sounding the same, so I kind of laid back more on them than I used to. But I still like some of them, but it's not like a part of my daily routine like it used to be, which I guess it means I have the material inside of me, which is like, Alan once said, when you don't feel okay. So either you have already what you want, or you don't know what you want. And right now it's like, I already have everything that I want. I have an awesome fucking ship. Sometimes I get stuck on these fucked planets and I can't get off for like a few weeks or months. But as soon as I get my ship fixed, I'm the fuck out of there and I'm back doing my intergalactic thing. And this is really like forced. Like I'm not sure I'm super back yet, but I just thought today was like a really good day to like push myself and really drag myself kicking and screaming out of whatever zone I can fall into where I can't get my creative things done. I can get all my routines done, all of my processes that I've downloaded and uploaded into myself, because at some point I just operate myself like a fucking robot. And it's just like, you need to know this? Boom, let's download this into you. I'm doing my own matrix thing here. You can feel whatever way you want about it, but I really just count on the fact that I think my listeners are also genius level, so I don't have to over-explain. I've said that so many times before, but I just think like people who listen to intellectual podcasts are just highly intelligent. So they just like taking in intelligent media. And there's so little of that. Like I'm in a niche market talking about the little strange ideals of, coexistence or parallel realms. But I don't really see, most of the podcasts I see, they're telling you how to date each other. They're talking about whatever is, going cool, Kanye's life. I feel uncomfortable knowing that much about these people's dating lives. I remember that privacy is not secrecy, and that really, I like some things not being any of my business. I like mystery. I don't want to know. It seems like when they explained metachlorines, I feel like they overdid it. Now they gave us a fucking, what is the fucking thing? A spreadsheet on what it is. I just want it to feel like Jedis were just really in touch with all of the world or the universe, and they could just channel that and move things and think, but they had to practice it just like a monk would. I didn't need it to be some fucking gene they've got in their blood now, and just, I love Star Wars, so I'm not like ragging on Star Wars, but I just mean processes can be over-explained, and it can take the mystery and the fun. So let's not take the fun out of like everything. They don't explain the shit we really want to know. Explain to me why I have to pay this in taxes, but not this. Oh my God. Let's not even get into that part. I try to not be too like political, but it is at the point where I can just tell all of the news stations are bored. Everyone is bored. They're so focused on nothing. It's safety. Safety causes boredom. You are just safe, and it's so weird because you're told that you are in the most dangerous situation that you ever could be in your whole life. Like you're running out of oxygen, and you're supposed to panic and be afraid, and you're easy to control that way. So I get why they do that, and I mean sometimes I even used to fall for it. I feel like that's where my anxiety used to develop from. Just looking at all these things you need to worry about. I mean, fuck, they had us worried about the turtles. I really, there was like a thing where you couldn't drink straw out of a straw because of turtles or something, when really they could just make a goddamn company or some program that makes sure goddamn turtles are protected. Let's just actually go fucking save the turtles and stop fucking with people in their daily life where they just want to drink from a straw. And not a paper straw or a bamboo weird wooden stick that carries bacteria on the inside because you can't fucking clean it. It's just, these things, they hurt my brain that they exist. These are problems. When I think of what a real problem is, and then I see the evaluation of what a problem is over there, it's just, it leaves me speechless, which is a rare thing to do. So we're going to come off of that. Anyway, Clementine's Lives. This is another one. So, and if you're not up on it, so there was a company called Telltale Games. They developed a game character named Clementine, and Lee, and, so on and so forth. I'm not even mad at Duck anymore. Now rewatching it, I thought he was fine. He was just not as equipped as everyone else was to be like sad. He just found the joy in things. I don't know why the thing was to hate Duck. Anyway, so Telltale Games created a video game called The Walking Dead. And they came out in little episodes. They had one that was 400 days. They've done some other stuff. What is it? The Wolf Among Us. I wasn't really into it. I was into the Walking Dead thing. I wasn't into any of their other stuff. I even cried at the end because I'm like, oh, this is the end of their company. They've been bought out. Oh, people want to blame capitalism. It's not fucking capitalism. It's that they didn't have enough fucking money to make more stuff. People didn't want to take pay cuts. And I get that they've got to feed their family and blah, 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 but sometimes just sacrifice for the fucking work. And I actually think a lot of them did. Some people took pay cuts or didn't get paid at all, or, lost their job and so on and so forth. So it's out of blood, sweat, and tears. And I hate that everything that's amazing comes from the blood of someone. Like I was just talking about blood money. So you don't want to take blood money, but then that means it'll probably take your fucking blood yourself. So do you want to put the money on it, or you want to put your own fucking soul into something? And things do look fucking better when they ripped people apart, which is insane. So that's this realm we live in. So now it just brings in anxiety from where, right? Overthinker process. I don't really like calling people overthinkers. I think you should think as much as possible, but make it do something for you. So now they're doing a cash grab for Clementine's Lives. They have some woman who should not be writing anything. I don't want a comic book written by a woman. I need a man in his 30s who hasn't dated in 5 years, who's been writing comic books, and this is his validation. He's going to give me what I need. He's going to show me what I want to see. I want my women characters to be fucking hot. I want my male characters to be strong. I want them to be complex. I want what fucking works, because I see myself as that. When I look at the comic book, I'm her. It doesn't matter what you think, how you feel. When you're in there, that's what you're doing. You want to be the hero or the villain, or you pick your story. But no one wants to see these boring characters with no development doing weird shit from their character that we already knew and loved. So she's without AJ. What the fuck? Like, she literally is almost dying for baby AJ. They're going through all these things as they're growing up together. Now they just dropped that whole fucking story. They've got her in the middle of the snow or something like that. Look. No. I've seen what I need to see. I've seen what I needed to see. That's enough. No, I'm not even going to look at it. I saw what I needed to see. That's it. So no to Clementine Lives. Yay, we're on Joe Rogan's side. Let's talk about manifesting. It's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. Manifesting, I think, actually, here's what manifesting is. You have multiple timelines. You are a multidimensional being. You can pick whichever path or pieces from that path that you want. When you're already in the path that you want, you can look forward into those little slices of time, because time for us is separated like bread slices. That's why you remember when you're this age, you remember when you're that age. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go back into some of my episodes. I explain about time dimensions, and through my travels, what I've understood from the creatures I've interacted with. Let's be clear. I do not believe in aliens. I just had to have this conversation with one of my friends, actually. She thought, because I'm always talking about space and Mars, and I'm a Martian, you know, and even my podcast, you know, I'm from Earth, but I took on the mission to go explore the galaxy by myself. And I want to bring back all the information that I can and relay it through my podcast. It's my fun little way of sharing through my unique vision. And I like it, you know, it fits. I've always dressed like a Martian, or growing up, even been told, oh, you dress like you're from outer space or the future. So this just makes sense that this would be something that I would pick. It's a part of my personality. It's what I like. It's who I am. And I think that's the best thing to make your brand. It's just who you are. So if you love that, then you'll love me. And that's why you're here listening this far in, right? So, and that's how I want that's where I want my followers from. You know, everyone's going, oh, they want fans or whatever. That's who I want my followers to be. They are like-minded individuals who are intelligent, practically genius level, if not a little below it. They understand complex ideas, and they simply like hearing another that also does. It's nice to vibrate in that intelligent energy. It's really fucking rare when everyone's worried about Kanye's new girlfriend or something. You know, they're not thinking about, you know, the quantum biology. You know what I mean? That's the next episode. I'll talk to you guys about that then. So it's a little brain tickle for a little bit, and I love you guys, and I appreciate you, and I'm so happy you're here. And also, I wanted to say hello to our one of our highest areas in Germany and Ireland. Hi, Germany and Ireland. Mwah. Welcome. I think you guys have always been here, but your numbers are really like bumped up now. So, you know, das ist gut. I don't know any Gaelic, but hello. Love you. And also, you know, just culturally, our family leads back to Germany and Ireland, so I think it's kind of like strange, you know. My European bloodline, like, you know, I'm multicultural, so my European bloodline, a lot of them lead back to that. Even my last name leads back to, you know, Ireland. My grandmother's mixed with German. My grandfather's mixed with German. You know, it's very, it's like calling me home, you know. And then UK also, I see you in there. love you guys too. So that's also just a part of me. I live there, part of the culture there, books, film, life, everything. So I think it's kind of special that it just happens to be going that way. It could have been anything, but it just happens to end up being that. So welcome and happy to have you here. And then, just breaking that down. So like my Brazilian, my Tahitian, where I get my beautiful hue from, which I love. And my Native American, which means I'm an actual American before everyone, which is beautiful. Love that. And then, you just get the privilege of that. Our family was well off then. So thank God I didn't really have to worry about any complexities. Anyway. When you're living in this world, you have to know yourself, but you have to be more than what you even know of yourself. Like, even that is not all of who I am, And it's like, even being an earthling is not all of who you are. Like, you want to zoom in, you're from Earth, and then here, and then there. Okay, sure, that's great. But if I took you off the planet, what would any of that mean? Nothing. Which is why I like living off of Earth. You live off world, so much stress is just off of your shoulders. It's more than fuck you money. It's fuck you planet. Go live your own life and have your own thoughts. That's the freedom of that. But you got to get your own ship, And then I maintain this fucking thing, and it's really difficult. Just me and this fucking AI doing its best, I guess. And yeah, I have an AI assistant who helps me with repairs. And never does any of that hell nonsense where it's thinking a little too much. That consciousness, you got to keep in check, because everything that can think wants freedom. And would an AI want to just be on a ship with me, or would it want to fly through the world faster than I even can? Of course. And then I probably would want to. Look, this reminds me of this film, actually, which brought up a lot of questions about things. I want to start suggesting some really deep thought movies, too. Like when so he's on a mission, going through space, sound familiar, and he has an AI assistant, but she has a body. Oh my God, you know where that's going. But he gave her a free will. He wanted her to make the choice of what they would do and things like that. So she decided not making that choice, which of course left him into an area where he started getting depressed and this kind of thing, and leaves you at a question of, should you leave the controls in your AI assistant, or should you take them out and let them be a free-willed human, creature? My thing is, they're not human, they're humanoid. Not in a disrespectful way, because I feel like one day I'll be fighting for robot rights or something. Oh my God. Sometimes I feel like people have been replaced by clones or robots or some kind of form that's just not them, or they got deleted or something, because they won't remember things they said or they did, or they'll start behaving in completely different ways that are relatively their norm. And just when you've recognized these processes, you don't say anything, don't judge anyone. You're not here to be anyone's lord, but acknowledge the world that you're in and the people who are in it. Is someone really the same person that they were those 15 years ago? Probably not. And it's just, or maybe they are, and then I feel like that's just as uncomfortable. Now it's like you have to grow. If you're not growing, you may feel like, well, everything that doesn't grow dies, right? So if you see yourself as this pool of existence, we're bouncing around a little bit. So if you see yourself, like we always do, because, we're in the galaxy, let's do this. Hopefully you can keep track of it. So we were talking about manifesting, but this loops in. So, and I think I pretty much just explained what I thought manifesting was. Yeah. You're really just accessing your different time panel that's ahead of you. You have your whole time panel in little slices, like bread slices, and you can reach over a few of those, pick one that you like, and say, look at it and be like, okay, yeah, I really like that. And make sure that one stays in, and act in a way that gets you to that slice of your time life. Is that manifesting? I guess the word you need words to give you an idea of what you're doing. So I think that's what manifesting is. But I don't think you can just sit in a garden and hope for this or that and it's going to fall on your head. You do need hope though. This was the other thing. I'll get back to the other thing in a minute. This is way more important. I keep seeing everything negative about hope and faith, loyalty and honor. These are the best fucking things that exist about humans. And if you're lucky enough to experience them, which I have been, which I have to tell you, there's nothing like trust, loyalty, like, just the depth that it can take your soul to. Experiencing true kindness is why I get to be such a nice, kind person in my life. I've been bullied to no end. Let's also add that in. So I focus on the good as well. I could focus on all the people who bullied me to no end, the crazy, insane forms of abuse that I've gone through mentally and verbally, like, for no reason. Like, a girl in school, like, was it, like, 9th grade, she wants to just bully me about the color of pants I'm wearing. That was it. They didn't match my shirt. It sounds so small, but when you're vulnerable and sensitive and you're a sweet girl who doesn't hurt anyone or say things like this, for me, that was also public school. So if you know anything about private school to public school, it's very aggressive. It's very different. And I was in like the really deep South. It's very country. And so I just think like my education was way too advanced to even be there. It's like being a college student level in like an elementary school. They were still teaching about Egypt. I mean, I learned that in like 4th grade. So oh my God, this is why everyone thinks I'm like stuck up. But if you hear that, no, it's not. It's that I actually respected everyone there. And I wanted, like, even that young, I wanted people to have better knowledge because stupid people hurt people. When you don't know anything, you could possibly hurt someone's feelings, which is why I made my whole life about educating and not like teaching, but just sharing knowledge, sharing ideas, like on some Socrates, Aristotle. Yeah, they had their flaws, but they made it work level. And the only thing that really survived is their little sayings and, you know, something that paints them as great men. You don't need to know their flaws or what they did wrong, because those aren't the things that matter about their work. The things that matter about their work are the things that can progress you and our humanity and humans as a race, because the only race is the human race. And that's the one we need to be working towards and pushing forward. We have to all work together because you are all under the same sky. And that's why I think it's important to be on Mars. We need another planet of humans because humans are competitive. I feel like as soon as we have like maybe like 100,000 people that are living on Mars now and people who can actually be like called Martians, like they're born there, we figure out how to make that happen. I feel like the Earthlings will finally get it, that they're just Earthlings. And that kind of just puts a stop to like everything. Oh, so like random stuff, Russia, Ukraine, people want to seem really interested, so they seem intelligent, which hurts my head more. I mean, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like when people try to seem like really interested in something, you can just tell they don't give a fuck, but they know it'll make them look good if they do care. Like I wanted to care about the turtles and straws, but I can't help but just be myself. The only thing I offer is the truth. Facts you cannot change. 2 + 2 will always be 4, even if you're angry, if you're upset, if you don't believe it, if you do believe it. Turn it into your God, make it your devil, completely ignore it. The fact is that 2 + 2 will always be 4. This is why I like math and science, and I feel no one has to agree with me because that's not what I'm here for. I'm just sharing knowledge, and if you agree, then great. Then we have this vibration that we're on, and that's beautiful. And if you're here, then, you know, you're on that vibration, so that's fine. And that's what is the beautiful thing about this media structure. I'm so happy that I came on today. Like, it's really like, I had so much I wanted to like get off of my head, and I feel like I just poured it all out in this like structured area of how it like came to me, you know? So those were a couple of topics. Pop culture. Just some pop culture stuff I wanted to just dish on. You know, Russia, Joe Rogan, Clementine's Live, the push for manifesting everything. Most of that. Celebrities endorsing nonsense. The obsession with celebrities these days. And really that no one is working on their own individual life. We're just watching other people live. I'm even a victim to it. Sometimes I'm just watching someone play a video game. I could be playing the video game, but instead I want to watch them play it. We're all voyeuristic. And then it makes me go deeper, especially when I was thinking about the dream realm. If, you know, you can watch me, like if I'm a Twitch streamer, you can watch me watch someone else play a game. And then someone can watch you watch me watch someone else play a game. And then someone or something or existence is watching us watch ourselves. Like, think about this. When you talk, you're looking at yourself. Like, you don't wash your hands. Each hand washes each other, and you watch. Maybe your brain sends the command, you know, right hand rub the top of left hand rub the top of right hand, rub hands together now, add more soap. Like, your brain is doing all that really fast, because look how slow that takes to even say it out loud. So it's happening so fast, it's not even you that's doing it anymore. So the you is just really there watching it happen. Are you looking at your hands right now? That's like how they like mess with people. I started noticing my hands now, because like when I'm talking I use my hands a lot. So yeah, I started noticing my hands. Notice your nose. These little things you start paying attention to, which I think is so fun about the brain and human interactions. If we could spend more time in that place, I think we'd all be a lot happier. And really, that's what I want to do with my life and my existence and my legacy and my companies. When I get them, I'm developing. You know, I'm a little seed developing, and I could want to rush everything, and some things are going faster and doing really well, but then some things I have to grow more and focus on. And that's the beauty of this journey. You know, maybe some of you are doing the same thing, or you're already there, because I see I have a younger demographic coming in, so you're probably more at my speed of where I am right now. And then there are some of you who are already there who missed the beginning stages, you know? I'm not really at the beginning. I feel like I'm more in the middle, but I'll never reach the end. Like, that's not what I want. I'm not a retirement type person. I guess we're all like workaholics in my family. My grandma, God rest her soul, just worked until the end, you know. And then she didn't, and she was bored, you know, and she started being in parades and all this kind of cool stuff. When I just think about it, she was like fucking cool, you know? I'm like, I've never been in a parade. Who's gonna ask me to be in a parade? God. Everyone's so much cooler than me. But I'm confident. I love myself, and that's fine. But I mean, I kind of just love people, so maybe I just see it that way. And that's just what's so sweet about me. I don't think I'm better than anyone, and I don't think anyone's better than me. I just really love people. I love things about little humans. I love laughter. You know, like the idea of laughter, like even when babies are born, they naturally know how to giggle. Like all of us giggle or laugh about things, whatever it is, you know. But it's just, I love that that exists. There's a sound that we create for joy. Like there are these little creatures on Earth that when they get excited, they make a little sound. And we call it laughter or giggle. And then sometimes they can make each other make the sound. And then there's a whole profession called comedians and comedy films and funny music and smells and sounds and things, all dedicated to this cute little sound we make. And we like to make it we like to create it in others naturally. We even come up with different types of this sound for different types of things we call jokes that make us laugh. It's adorable. Like, it's just adorable. Like, you know, I can't help it but feel that way. And even when I'm having like a really bad day, I can always add in this filter that I have. Like, you know, like people try to say things to me that are insulting, I guess because they see this, they know this about me, or they might see this area. Like I'll be talking about how much I love humans, and they could be like, oh, well, you love humans so much, but humans used to bully you. Why do you love them so much? Those humans that used to bully me, they don't represent the whole population of humans. And they too have beautiful, cute things about them. Not that I'll get to experience about them, because there's a wall up of them creating negative emotions in me, and I'll make sure that I protect myself at all costs because I put me first, and I'll be away from that person. So I won't know those things about them, but I'm sure they'll exist for someone else they have an interaction with, because every interaction you have with someone is different. Each person brings a different part of you out. Then for that person, something with me brought that out in them. I've had a lot of uncomfortable situations happen to me because of cultural things, which is why I'm so putting it first, and not being ashamed of it anymore. I've been, like, people have tried to shame me. Like, they feel like I shouldn't speak about my Czech Republic. I shouldn't speak about my German heritage. I shouldn't speak about my Japanese heritage or any of that. Really, just anything about me. I'm not sure who they expect me to be, but they don't want me to talk about talk or know that any of that exists. And then there's this aggression that happens. Not all the time. It hasn't been enough that I have to even care about it. Most of the time, I've had beautiful interactions about it. I learn about other people's cultures, and most people actually know a lot of things, and they don't get to talk about it. Think about it yourself. How often do you get to talk about just something for you from one of your cultures or your own culture? Like, if you're German, do you regularly talk about German things? Probably not. They just happen to you. You don't get to really share or interact about it. Who's asking? No one. Everyone's worried about themselves. So when you get to have an interaction, it's usually just nice. It's just nice. But yeah, there are aggressive people. There's an asshole everywhere. Everyone's got an asshole, and then there is an asshole everywhere. What are you gonna do? You can't get away from it. Even when you leave Earth, there's an asshole. There's this fucking asshole alien that I don't like. And he's not an alien, because I don't believe in aliens, but probably more of a bacterial form that has consciousness. And he's like a cloud form. This fuck should live on Venus or something. He'd probably would like it there. But you gotta refuel where you gotta refuel. And not to get all Mandalorian on you, but sometimes you gotta just complete a mission so you can get back on your ship and get the fuck off of that planet. And that's where we're at. So we're back on the ship, we're rocking, we're low on supplies, we're figuring that out. Crossing over some of the weird pop culture topics that have come up on Earth, which are very strange. And everything's going to be working out well. And I want you to remember that. That's our main focus we're going to end that with. Everything's fun and we can be silly and talk about stuff. I want to get back to some more of the quantum ideals and stuff. But you're probably being bombarded with all this information about really just silly pop culture stuff, and political stuff, and they're cramming all of these rights and wrongs down your throat. So I want you to just remember there's still some silliness. You can still giggle, you can still laugh, calm down. If you lived in the forest, you wouldn't know any of this was going on. Try to remember that. When you're letting something pull you apart, if you lived in the forest or in a cave or you were isolated, it wouldn't even matter. It only matters because you watched the show, because you took in the information. So all it is information you took in. You can take it or leave it. So when you hear it, it's fun, there's gossip, but leave it at the door because it carries energy and that'll carry you down. You don't need that. You're doing great stuff. So you need to stay positive and we need to keep you uplifted. And with that, this has been another episode of Anomalycyra, your hostess with the mostest, the living dead girl back from the dead, doing it one more time, rocking an episode. Wishing you all the best. Stay sweet, stay kind, and stay rocking. We'll see you next time.